Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome back to another episode of the Fightersrep podcast. Gary, episode 68. I'm your host of Fightersrep Fez, alongside my esteemed colleague and the crown prince of Richmond Heights, Miami, Florida, Gary Ignorant Behavior. Gary, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Excited to get back into this. You know, we've been a little bit slow these past couple weeks. A lot of things going on in lives, in the personal lives, but here we are again, running it and ready to get back to it. And before we get started, how are you doing, man? Everything okay? Everything good?
Yeah, it's been busy, man. I'm good though. You know, have a whole lot to do, as you know, especially with the holidays, and then other things happening. So, hey, I'm back at it though now.
I'm loving the backdrop, and the beard looks longer, and it's a whole new look for 2025.
You know what I'm saying? Fightersrep, baby.
Check me out. I got the front drop. You got the backdrop.
I had to come official.
Yeah, man. No, it looks great. But let's get right into it, Gary. A lot of stuff has been going on these past few weeks in boxing, bro, since we've kind of not really been doing the podcast as weekly as we typically do with all the stuff going on. But I've been dropping a lot of content. I know you're working on dropping some content on your end. And, one of the big things I think that's happening right now that I wanted to discuss with you was Devin Haney. He's supposed to come back in March. That's what he's saying on social media. He says, I'm back in March. And then we've also got a big fight down under between an Australian fighter and a New Zealand fighter, Jai Opetaia taking on David Nyika. I don't know if you've had a chance to look into these guys a bit, Gary, but Jai is the man at cruiserweight, and Nyika, if you ask me, is a really, really accomplished, young fighter himself. Doesn't have the experience on the pro level as Jai, but did wondrous things as an amateur, and definitely looks the part, man. Big, strong guy. I mean, both of these guys look really big, really strong, really good. If you ask me, this is a real stiff test for Opetaia, but, we'll give our prediction on that. But first and foremost, Gary, Devin Haney set to return after the whole debacle. I'm going to call it the debacle against Ryan Garcia in their last fight. We don't know who he's going to fight. I'm going to pull up a list of, potential super lightweights or junior welterweights, whatever you fancy. But, we don't know who's going to go in there against, but we know he's back in March. What are your thoughts on Devin Haney coming back in March?
I mean, it's about time. I never felt like he should have took that much of a layoff. When you, I really think that fight F with his head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it really messed with his head. And I think he was, even though you can say somebody was on not say, you find out somebody's on performance enhancements drugs and things of that nature. It's still in the athlete's mind. This guy beat me, like he said at night, the worst I've ever been beaten. And I don't think that gets out of your head and you dwell on it and you can't let it go and it messes with your brain. Because I remember when Carl Lewis in track lost to Ben Johnson and they found out Ben Johnson was on steroids. He still wanted to beat the time that Ben Johnson made on steroids because it's just something about a top-level athlete. It's just going to be in your head. I let this guy beat me. And so, in my opinion, I felt like he should have got right back in there because you let everything sit out there without you getting back in the ring and showing stuff. It just gets more and more noise and, Devin Haney this and Devin Haney that. If you get back in there, and you go and show your skills again and you beat somebody and get your confidence back. But, I'm curious to see who he's going to fight. I knew the Adrian Broner thing was a lie because I was like, it don't make any sense. I don't care if you're doing a warm-up or not. It didn't make any sense. So, but I'm curious to see who he's getting back in there. What's your thought?
What don't you like about an Adrian Broner fight for Haney? I mean, obviously, we think Haney is way above Broner at this point. But, considering he's coming back after this beating he took, we don't know what he's going to look like. I mean, I don't personally think he's going to look that bad, but it's not. I mean, if there's some history there between them, I mean, and maybe Broner wants to make a little bit of money. I don't know. I mean, I think it would be an entertaining fight at the very least.
I don't think it's going to be entertaining. I don't think nobody wants to see that. And I don't think it helps Devin Haney's case to come back after the last time we seen you get destroyed, even though performance enhancements, to come back and fight somebody like Adrian Broner, who when the last time he won? He just got his tooth knocked out against a Blair Flair. I mean, when has Adrian Broner fight been exciting? When's the last time Adrian Broner fight you watched and said, man, that was a good ass fight? It's been a long time, bro.
It's been a long time for sure.
A long time for sure. It's normally one-sided, him getting beat up and then saying he thought he won at the end.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just feel like there's so much other fights if you want to do a tune-up that you can take that will actually be better for you, better fight. People might get excited a little bit for you, see you, and might see like, oh yeah, Devin Haney, he's still sharp. Yeah, he shook that off because everybody wants to know how you look after you took a beating.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you took it.
Yeah. I'm looking through the lightweight rankings, Gary, ESPN's lightweight rankings here. Shout out to them. And they've got Teofimo, or not lightweight, but junior welterweight, so 140 pounds and up. And they've got, or super lightweight, some people call it. They've got Teofimo Lopez as number 1. They've still got Haney as number 2. They've got Catterall at number 3, but we know Catterall's not going to happen, and it sounds like Teofimo's not going to happen, right? My understanding is on social media or something, Teo said that he offered, they kind of went back and forth. He offered him a fight. Devin Haney said, that's chump change. I'm not fighting for that, and apparently he's asking for a lot of money, and maybe this BLK Prime, whatever promotion this is, BLK Prime is, I don't know where they're getting the money from, to be honest with you.
I don't know. Isn't Dunn King a part of it or something like that? I don't know what magic Dunn King's working at.
I don't know, but I know they paid Terrence Crawford quite a bit of money, and now I don't know how they made a return on that, and it sounds like they're about to pay Devin Haney what he wants as well. So I don't know. So it doesn't look to me like Teofimo's getting made. Catterall's fighting Arnold Barbosa. He's ranked 3rd. He's fighting Arnold Barbosa on February 15th. You've got Richardson Hitchens, which we saw beat Liam Paro, Gary. I think that would be a real interesting matchup, but that might be a little risky. I would like that fight, but maybe Devin Haney's handlers might think that's a little bit risky. I don't know. You've got Liam Paro. Alberto Puello is fighting Sandor Martin on March 1st, so that's not going to happen. Jose Valenzuela is a good fight. And I see Subriel Matias in there. I would imagine Teo's going to fight him. And then Josh Taylor. They got Josh
What about
Taylor.
Rayo?
What's that?
What about Rayo? Is he still out there?
Yeah, that's Jose Valenzuela, I believe.
No, I didn't even know that was his real name.
Is it?
Yeah, I always called him Rayo.
Yeah. Let me see here. Yeah. It's Jose Valenzuela. They call him Rayo. So
where did you get Rayo from? Wait a minute. Go ahead. Come on, my bad.
Well, I think it means like lightning.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it means lightning in Spanish. It means lightning in Spanish. So that's where they got it's his nickname. They just call him by his nickname Rayo.
Yeah.
Come on, Gary. We're from Miami, Gary. I need to pick up this,
I don't know. You know Spanish, not me.
Gary.
Hey, I know everybody in Miami, whether they're dark skinned or light skinned, they know Spanish, not me.
Come on, Gary Martin. Come on, Martin.
That's what they call. They automatically put the Martinez on there. It's like, dude, there ain't no E and Z in there.
I know. But those are these are the choices. And what do you think of those choices? I mean, Josh Taylor's on there. you know,
If he's looking for a,
I like Rayo. I think Rayo Valenzuela is a fun one. What are your thoughts on this?
if he's talking about the amount of pay, the amount of money that he wants, he can't fight Josh Taylor. That's not bringing in that money. That's not bringing in that. So he has to figure out what he wants to do. If he wants a soft landing back into the ring or whatever, then you're not going to get the money that probably you're looking for.
But
Now,
BLK Prime might pay him, man.
But it depends on. Remember, they might pay him depending on who you fighting. You can't go out there and just fight anybody.
Crawford fought a Venetian, bro.
Yeah, and what you just said, I don't know how they made money off of that.
I don't know either, man. It's
and so I would say Paro, because he just lost. You just seen Hitchison take him apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little risky, but then at the same time, you're a boxer. You just seen another boxer outclass him, outbox him. So you've seen him beat Matias, but Matias is not necessarily a boxer, like Hitchens is, or like Haney is. So I think that could be a fight that Haney, it could bring intrigue because Paro was just a champ, and it could show that you're still that guy. And it can probably bring you a little bit of money. I would think that if you fought Tio, it could be some money in that. But I guess they're not offering what you think. But
yeah. I think BLK Prime. I mean, maybe they're still trying to establish themselves. Maybe that's why they're just throwing money around. Maybe it's investment money. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm on the same boat as you, Gary. I think this needs to be a big name. The problem is, you're coming back off of a serious beating at the hands of Ryan Garcia that could have potentially affected you permanently in your career. And a lot of us are going to use this as a barometer to see where you're at. Where's this kid at? Me and you have been high on Devin Haney for a very long time. And I don't think one fight, at least I hope not, one fight is going to, have harmed him that bad to make it so that he's, no longer the same, especially considering he's just 26 years old. But he did take quite a lot of punishment in that fight. I think it's an interesting fight, but it's got to be a big name if he's gonna, want the money he's asking. I want to say the money from Teofimo wasn't a small amount of money either. I mean, it was at least a couple million, I think, that they were talking about. And
but remember, he poo-pooed on the fight after Ryan Garcia and his mandatory, and they were already off. I think when it went, because he was mad at Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn didn't bid on it, and I think the bid came out to Bob Arum or something for like $2 million or something, and he was like, "I'm not fighting for that." My last fight, I did like 15 mil or something.
2.4 million offer to compete. Teofimo Lopez called Haney a punk B word, on social media for turning down the $2.4 million offer to fight for his title.
I mean, that is kind of low for the two names and for it being unifying two titles, right? Tio still has a title, right? Yeah. So it's a title fight. I mean, that is kind of low. I mean, you got to look at Shakur Stevenson's getting $3 million for a fight, and then they're not necessarily unifying belts and things. And then, like Devin Haney said, his fights with Ryan Garcia earned more. He fought, what's his can't think of his name before Ryan Garcia, Rigaru. He
Regis Progress.
Regis Progress, yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. I was just watching him yesterday talk about something.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he earned more money in that fight too. So I mean, it depends on who you're talking to. Tio says he's never earned a meal. He's never took home a meal, put it like that. Yeah. Devin Haney took home a lot more than that. So
Good on Bill Haney, man, for for getting his son paid, man. People talk a lot of shit about Devin and Bill, man, but
Yeah,
good on him for getting his son paid. So, we don't know who he's fighting, Gary. We're just, kind of throwing names out there in the wind that we have no idea.
you think he stays at 140? He tries because he was talking about 147 at 1.2.
I think when he comes back, he should stay at 140. Kind of get his feet wet again, and then and then move up from there. Unless he absolutely can't make the weight. But I mean, to me, it seemed like he could make the weight. I mean, remember not too long ago he was making lightweight, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So he fought Kambosos for the lightweight titles and Lomachenko. He didn't move to super lightweight until he fought Regis Prograis, from what I'm reading here. So I just think he could definitely still make super lightweight. He's only had 2 fights at super lightweight, but maybe a way around the potential loss of durability and loss of the chin is to
yeah.
move up another weight class. So that's something to think about.
I mean, if he can't find the money he wants, because obviously he thinks two million isn't enough, because obviously we got people around here offering chicks 1.5 for just to mess around. He's like, hey, I'm a champion. She's getting. I mean, she may be a champion in another field, but allegedly.
Ignorant behavior, ladies and gentlemen. We're 16 minutes in and already started.
I mean, yeah, nah, he might have because I know before I would have thought Mario Barrios would have been a good fight for him, but obviously Mario Barrios is going to be. Doesn't he have a fight already? He's looking with Conor Ben or somebody. Who is it? Stanionis, Conor Ben, something. Who is it?
Well, you mentioned Stanionis. I believe Eddie Hearn's trying to make that fight with Boots.
Yeah, but I don't know. I heard that it might not happen right away or something like that. Or
as far as Mario Barrios, I'm looking for it now. I'm not sure he's going to be. I see Abel Ramos.
Yeah, I did hear about that one too, but I thought they was also trying to make the Conor Ben or something like that also.
Yeah, I heard something about that as well. I've even heard of Manny Pacquiao being considered.
Man, I don't want to see that. I mean, come on, man.
You wouldn't watch that? I would watch that, bro.
I'll watch it. I watch Jake Paul fights, but I watch Jake Paul fight Mike Tyson. I mean,
hey, we're the worst, bro. We're the worst.
I mean, I know the outcome, but it's just, hey, all right, let's see.
You don't think? Let me ask you though. You don't think Pacquiao has a shot against Mario Barrios?
No,
not at all.
No, he's past his prime. No, last time we seen him in there with he got beat to sleep with
by Ugas.
Ugas, and we seen what Barrios did to Ugas, and I never thought Ugas would have never beat Pacquiao in his prime.
Yeah,
never.
Yeah.
So it's just he's not that guy anymore.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And nobody knows about no longer being in their prime more than me and Ignorant Behavior Gary.
Hey, you ain't lying about that. Man, my back hurting right now.
Oh my God. So we don't know who Devin Haney is fighting. If you could pick somebody, would it be Paro? Would it be, I mean,
if I could pick somebody where I'm not worried about whether Devin Haney's ready or not, just a big fight I would want to see.
Yeah.
Just a big fight. The two people I would pick it would be T.O.
Yeah.
And Drawn Ennis. I think he'll lose, but I wouldn't mind seeing that because he spoke about being willing to fight Drawn Ennis and things of that nature. So, but but if you get T.O. First on my list will be T.O. because that I think that'll be the more competitive fight. Then second will be Drawn Ennis. It just or even what's his name that Drawn Ennis turned down Norman
Ortiz. Oh,
Norman.
Brian Norman.
Yeah.
But we're going to welterweight. Let's take a junior welter for now, Gary. Well,
Matisse. Is Matisse available?
He's supposed. I mean, I guess so. I thought he was going to fight Tio, and now I don't know. It sounds like Tio wants Haney, so I don't even know what's going on anymore.
I would do T.O., then Matisse,
Yeah,
and then Rayo maybe after that. No, Hitchens.
Tio versus Devin Haney. If we get that matchup, Gary, who do you think wins that fight?
It depends, man. It's interesting because it depends on what T.O. you're getting. The last couple of fights, I haven't been impressed with T.O. At 140. Devin Haney, I mean, he looked good against Regis. But I think that was, basically it was a good matchup for him with the Regis thing, coming into 140, being his size and his length and everything like that. So I thought, I thought Tio. I'm sorry, my wife just walked through. She was naked, so she kind of. If you see me look over here, like
Gary, Gary, I can't really hear you. There's a button that looks like two arrows spinning around like that. Can you hit that?
Hey, but I would, if Devin Haney's 100% of A game and Tio's 100% of A game, I give it to Devin Haney.
Yeah.
But if Devin Haney is messed up because of the Ryan Garcia thing or whatever, then I'll give it to Tio. But it depends on who comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting. I think that would be the best fight to make. Obviously, I would love to see that fight. And I do think, I agree with you. I think if they're both firing on all cylinders, that's a good fight. But I think Haney squeaks through. But I mean, it's going to depend on who we get back when Haney gets back. Is it
Yeah.
I think it will be, but we'll see. Before we move on to the next topic, Gary, I want to remind everybody to please subscribe, like, and join. Hit that join button, hit that subscribe button, but definitely hit that join button to become a member of Knucklehead Nation. We would greatly appreciate it. Help us continue to build the channel and build what we got going on here. We drop content almost daily, and me and Gary go live every Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Also, feel free to get your Fightersrep merchandise in the link below. Anything you guys spent here, just going to reinvest it back into making this channel way better. So on to the next one, Gary. We have a fight called I think the term is Trans-Tasman fight. I think maybe that's what they call it when you have a Australian versus a New Zealander fight. Very interesting what's going on down under, Gary. We've seen the talent come up from that part of the world recently with Tim Tszyu, also big time in the UFC, Israel Adesanya, Volkanovski, Kai Kara France, all these guys, they're making some noise down there. And this is a big fight. This is to see, in my opinion, who the man is. Not in my opinion, I think in everybody's opinion, who the man is at cruiserweight, Gary, at 200 pounds. And I think, Gary, this fight has big implications right now because besides the fact that these guys look good and Jai Opetaia looks good to me as well, we just had a cruiserweight and Alexander Usyk unify that entire division, move up to heavyweight, unify that entire division, and just whip everybody's behind, Gary. I mean, this guy's just whipping everybody. And showing the world that you don't have to be a 6'6", 6'7" monster to get the job done.
It helps.
Yeah, and be the man. And so, Jai Opetaia is probably looking to be that next guy. It was Holyfield, then it was Usyk. I got a feeling Jai Opetaia has potential to become that guy eventually, but he's still toiling away at cruiserweight. He's the champ. He looks fantastic. Nyika looks good to me too, though, Gary. He looks really good, man. Tell me what you think about these guys, Gary. They're interesting.
Real quick, did Holyfield unify heavyweight?
I don't know if he unified at heavyweight, but
he became a champion. Yeah, multiple times. Yeah,
he was definitely a champ, though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I was just wondering because you mentioned. I was like, damn, Holyfield unified heavyweight too. But nah, but
no, I don't think he did he? He was. Let me see here. I'll look into it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
What were you gonna say?
but I'm horrible with these names, so you're gonna have to help me out. Jai Obatai. I think
We'll just call him Jai.
Okay, Jai. Okay, so Jai. I mean, if he's like he reminds me of like Canelo almost in a sense. A bigger Canelo.
I can see that.
He's walking you down. Everything. I mean, he's throwing hard, punching hard, thudding. He's putting his power into like everything. You know what I mean? He's trying to almost like even I thought about it, Errol Spence too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's trying to break you down. He's trying to walk you down, break you down. Even what's his name? That just beat Bivol.
Better BF.
Better BF. Those he comes from that type of style, that type of fighting. He's gonna walk you down, get into a brawl. He wants you to try to get in a firefight with him, and he counters very well. He's very sharp, very powerful. He's not looking to move and box. He's looking to get you out of there, and I think he gets you out of there, kind of by I don't think he has like great like one shot power, even though he can knock you out one shot power. I think he has more of a just a brutalizing style. He's like brutal with it, man.
It's cumulative damage.
Yeah. And so, but he can be hit back too because he's looking for a fight. He was dropped with what's his name? I'm having trouble with names right now.
Was it Bradis?
Yeah, Bradis.
Hey, and by the way,
Bradis, and he was 39.
Bro, and Bradis, let's not forget, Bradis gave Usyk hell as well. He had a real close fight with Usyk. So Bradis was one of those guys that
Yeah. And he was hurting Bradis, but Bradis somehow was taking it and came back, caught him with a shot, really hurt him, dropped him. But he weathered the storm. So he has that experience, man. He has that experience of being in tough fights. And I just think it's going to be too much because what's the guy from New Zealand name? I told you, help me out with the name. Nyika. Watching him, he only has like 10 fights, right? It's 9 KOs, 10 fights.
Yeah.
He's
versus 26 versus 26 for Opetaia.
Yeah. Nyika. So, and I mean, he's a tall cruiserweight.
6'6", Gary. You're right about that.
But he doesn't fight well off his back foot either. So if Jai and Jai comes forward, so if Jai can keep him on that back foot, and you can tell he's uncomfortable with it. Now if you let him stand in the middle ring and push you back and go off the front foot and keep that distance when he wants, but every now and then he wants to kind of get in a firefight too, and he has power, but his defense isn't the greatest because watching a few fights I have seen with him, I've seen him get caught. Now he has a chin, but I mean I don't believe in guys relying on chins because it's always the guy that can get you out of there on that chin. But I really don't think he's ready for Jai right now. I don't think he's ready for him. I think he's gonna lose.
Man, Gary, your analysis I think is spot on tonight, brother.
But I don't think nobody's coming out of this going a distance in this fight though.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you think someone's getting finished here?
Yeah.
And if you think like me that it's too soon for Nyika, you're probably thinking Nika's gonna get put away.
But you know what I was thinking about also the crazy part is these guys fighting for belts like Nyika at 10 fights in and like Better BF and like Lomachenko. It's going back to the old days where these guys were stepping up early. Yeah. And I don't know if I think that's a great thing or a bad thing, or it's good in some cases, bad in some cases.
Well, Opetaia was originally supposed to fight somebody else, but I think the guy got hurt and they needed a replacement, and Nyika put his hand up. And apparently, I watched the sit down between the two of them. I mean, apparently he's put his hands up a few times to fight the best guys at cruiserweight. So I really respect him. And I appreciate what he's doing here, and I actually think, I got a feeling he's going to give a good account of himself. I don't know I don't know if this fight's, if it were up to me to predict. Hold on. If it was up to me to predict, Gary, I think I actually think this fight might go the distance because man, that kid is 6'6". He looks strong. He looks sturdy. I know he's had just 10 fights, but 29 years old, a bronze medalist, Gary, in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. And it's my understanding that he was a former endurance athlete of some sort. I kind of forget now. It slips my mind whether it was some sort of track or soccer or something like that. Maybe both. But he was some sort of endurance athlete. And this guy looks to me to be I mean, have you seen the shape he's in? I mean, this
Yeah,
kid.
no, yeah.
This
Yeah,
kid's
he's a solid guy. He's a big guy. Yeah.
Big, cut up, strong, still young. So assuming he can deal with Jai Opetaia's nastiness, because I agree with you, man. He just comes out and looks like he tries to get you out of there.
Yeah.
I think, assuming he can deal with that, and I'm going to assume that he can. He's still young, hasn't taken a lot of damage. I'm going to say that he probably goes the distance but loses a decision. But there's no shame in it, in my opinion. I mean, when you're offered a title fight, and I think you would agree with this, Gary, when you're offered a title fight or there's a title fight out there, the opponent pulls out for whatever reason, injury or whatever it is, and you have the opportunity to go there and cash in and maybe upset the apple cart.
Yeah,
you got to take that, bro. You got to.
I mean, it's the same thing with Kid Austin and Shakur Stevenson. He a lot of people don't think even Oscar De La Hoya didn't think Kid Austin is ready.
Is it Kid Austin or was it Schofield, Floyd Schofield?
Yeah, I said Kid Austin. Yeah, Floyd Schofield.
No, you're
but
good.
That's Kid Austin though. That's his moniker. Yeah,
I might be wrong. It might be
Floyd Schofield. That's his. Yeah,
it's Kid Austin.
It's the same. Yeah, that's what he goes by.
Well, maybe I'm just a dumb. Yeah, you're right. I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you're making me think. I'm like, that's what he goes by.
When you said Kid Austin, I thought of, for whatever reason, I thought of another fighter. I don't know why. I thought of another.
Boy Steph or something like that. I don't know. But Kid Austin, he's going for greatness, but a lot of people don't think he's ready. Oscar doesn't even think he's ready.
Yeah.
But he was like, hey man, if I lose, it's on me, so you can't knock it. Nyika, the one thing I do like about Nyika, man, he tries to go to the body. He tries to bang that body, and I always like when fighters pay attention to the body. They don't like.
You like banging the body. You like banging the body.
As you know, my wife just walked through, so I got distracted. So yeah.
YouTube's gonna ban us. Go ahead.
But yeah, man. I just feel like he's gonna get in a exchange because he likes to exchange and he wants to knock you out too. They're gonna get in an exchange and he's gonna get clipped.
Yeah,
and he's gonna get hurt. And I don't know if he knows how to weather that storm. Ja has been through that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nyika, that's the part of growing pains.
I'm glad you brought up that Bredas fight, man. That was a real challenge of a fight, I think, and I think it showed us that, like, this guy's got a real dog in him, and he's not, he's not messing around out there. And I don't know, did you see the face-off at all? Because I mean, he looked.
I seen the sit down when they were talking and they were talking about sparring, and Ja was like, "What are we talking about sparring for?" And that's sparring.
I like him. I like him. I like his attitude, Gary. He looks like he comes in shape. And I'm talking about Opetaia right now. He looks like he comes in shape. He looks like you said, he's trying to get you out of there. He looked explosive to me. He looked strong to me. The only thing,
he looks like the faster guy with hand speed wise to me.
Explosive, yeah, and fast. The only thing that I was kind of thinking to myself that I pulled from his last fight, because it wasn't a great opponent that he fought last. I mean, I don't think the guy really belonged in there with him, if I'm being honest, with all due respect. But I just felt like he wasn't throwing a lot of combinations. I feel like he throws a lot of, like, maybe one punch, but then a couple times he was throwing 1, 2, maybe 1, 2, 3. I just feel like maybe if you were to follow up with a couple more shots, it'd be interesting to see what happens because he does seem to throw really hard. But I won't pretend like I know better than what he's doing better than him. But that's the only thing I came away with. Kind of, if I had to say anything, because you mentioned Canelo, it does remind me a little bit of Canelo, the way he stalks people.
Yeah.
He does it in his own way, but he is stalking you kind of like Canelo and Beterbiev are. But he doesn't seem to throw that many combos like Canelo does. So, maybe that's something, with a little bit more seasoning will increase. But I agree, I like the analogy, Canelo,
Yeah.
Beterbiev. These are the guys that he kind of reminds me of. But he does seem to be like a pretty sharp boxer too. I mean, I won't say he's a bad boxer.
No, I mean, but he does he put that kind of pressure on you, even like how Tank did, how Tank did in his last fight, and Tank does when he feels like he can walk through a guy, he kind of pressures you, forces you to get nervous and put the pressures on you, the mental pressure on you. Although Tank doesn't throw a lot of punches either until he knows when, like, he kind of gets you, like he did with he knocked Mario Barrio was out stalking him, and Luke, what is it? Yeah, Santa Cruz in the corner. He had him in the corner. He just jab. Okay, he throwing jab. Okay, slip that uppercut. Boom, out of there, man. I'm trying to kill you.
Hey, and you can't be forgetting the last guy he fought's name. I can't.
Martin. I know. It takes me a second.
Your long lost relative over there that fought.
Frank Martin. It's a name after my granddad.
I hear you. I agree with what you're saying. I mean, that's why I don't want to take too much away from it, from that last fight. But I mean, I will say, I mean, he looks impressive to me. If he beats this guy, I don't know how much is left for him at cruiserweight. I guess he'll try to unify if he, I guess he'll try to unify and then
probably,
and then move up to heavyweight, which is what cruiserweights do. But I think it'll be an interesting fight. I don't think this guy's going to be a walk in the park. Nyika, again, 6'6", Gary, with a 79-inch reach. That's a 3-inch reach advantage over Opetaia and a 4-inch height.
He doesn't fight that height, though. To me, he doesn't fight that height.
Yeah. But the reach could. I mean, if he decides to use it, the reach could be good. And then he's got to have some sort of pedigree. He won a bronze medal.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder won a bronze medal. So, but I mean, he won a bronze medal.
He was the champ. He was undefeated.
Right.
So,
and he's got 9 knockouts in 10 fights. So I mean,
yeah, he has a hell of a right hand now. Yeah. You got to watch out for that. You can't get clipped by that. And he does good body work. I like his body work. I just feel like he leaves himself too open sometimes, and he gets clipped with shots. And with a guy that's as dangerous as Ja, and he even talking about the sparring was like, Ja got over. He was sparring, even though sparring, they got over on me. He basically kind of admitted, like, the first time I got in there, he kind of got me. Then after the next few times, it was kind of like, okay, I'm adjusting, and I left with some confidence. But that just tells me, like, I don't see him finishing the 12 rounds.
Damn. Okay.
I don't.
I like it. What round are we predicting, Gary?
I mean, I'm thinking like the middle rounds, like 6, 7.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's gonna be a good fight up until it ends. Yeah. Like, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be exciting. If you want to see people get hit and people really throwing leather, really hard punches, it's gonna be good. But when you get that type of thing, I just don't see it going all the way to distance.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's funny because it's happening on Wednesday.
Yeah, I know, that's weird.
I kind of like it though. I kind of like it. And are we going to be? I mean, I'm going to be going live. I'm hoping I'll be able to have you with me on the live.
I should be able to Wednesday. Yeah. We'll confirm it for sure. But I should be on Wednesday able to do it live.
Okay.
After. You know what? What's the time? Because it's gonna be over there. So
Yeah.
It's not in New Zealand or in Australia, but it's closer to New Zealand, I think. I believe. Is it in the UK?
I know it's on the Zone. I'm seeing definitely going to be. It looks, geez, 3 a.m.
Oh shit.
Let's see here. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It looks like 3 a.m. Eastern time. That's when the broadcast will begin. It's looking like
yeah, I won't be on there at that time.
7:30 a.m. Eastern is when they'll step into the ring. So I guess we'll just talk about it in the evening. I would like to go live if I can, but I don't think I'll be available at that time.
I got work.
But yeah, it should be a good fight. I agree with you. I think it's going to be a good fight. Just so everybody knows, the guys right now at cruiserweight, looks like Gilberto Ramirez is the WBO and WBA champ. Opetaia is the IBF champ, and then a guy by the name of Norer Michael John is the WPC champ. I'm assuming that is still accurate. But yeah, I mean, I think this guy has the potential to unify Gary, and who knows from there, man? Who knows from there? I think once you unify, the logical step is to move on to heavyweight.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing left to do after that.
But 6'2", Gary, 6'2". Can he do what Usyk did at 6'2"?
Well, how tall is Usyk? He's a little taller than that, ain't he?
I want to say Usyk's at least 6'3", right? Maybe 6'4". Let me see here. Yeah, 6'3".
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's about the same. I don't think he has the skills of Usyk though to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's as skillful as Usyk is. Usyk is a really, I mean, we probably don't give him as much credit as skilled as he is because he makes like he fought Tyson Fury. He made adjustments. Tyson Fury is no slouch in as a boxer, and he's a large man. And Usyk, you see, as the fight went along, he made adjustments.
Yeah,
he fought Joshua, who was huge.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Also, and Joshua couldn't touch him really like that.
He's
and as
really
he
good.
and when he fought the boys, as a, I know some people think like, oh, I hit him in Dubois. I said Dubois. You know, I suck at these names. And they think the low blow, he got cheated, but he still had more rounds. As the rounds went on, it got worse.
Yeah, it did. And one thing I want to say about that low blow, because I mean, people still bring it up all the time. Again, I think if Usyk, if it would have been called a knockdown, I think he would have taken the 8 count and gotten right back up. But I think because he sold it as a low blow, he stayed down because he was just milking it. Why not just milk it? Take some time to recover. But I guess we'll find out once and for all in the rematch. Like you said, Gary, he went on, kept fighting, and then stopped Dubois. I mean, it's not like he won by decision. He stopped the guy. So I don't think it goes much different, but we'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know if you saw, I dropped a video talking about a couple other heavyweights. I mentioned Martin Bakole, which me and you have been talking about recently, just behind the scenes. I think that's definitely a guy who deserves more big fights coming up.
He definitely earned it.
And then I like this Fabio Wardley kid, Gary. I don't know if you've seen him.
Yeah, I've seen him.
I like this Fabio Wardley kid, man. I
think he's a dangerous fighter. I just don't. When we look at all the fighters, I don't know. I mean, he's dangerous. He has power, and he's kind of awkward a little bit. I don't know.
I just don't think Dubois, right now, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think Dubois is anything special or much better than this guy. I think Dubois just hit Anthony Joshua, whose defense was not very good in that fight, and he landed a big right hand, and that was it. I mean, I would, if they told me, put your money on one of these guys, we're going to put Dubois in there versus Wardley. I like Wardley.
Yeah,
I like Wardley. And Bacoli, man, somebody needs to give Bacoli a shot because he's nasty too.
Oh yeah, nah, I mean, I hadn't seen much of him. Only a couple fights before the Jared Anderson fight, and I watched him Jared Anderson fight, and it seems like he's so heavy-handed.
Yeah, and fast.
And
His hands are fast.
yeah, and for a guy that size to have fast hands like that, and he's a good fighter. I think he's a dangerous fighter for anybody.
Yeah.
I don't think he beats Usyk, but I mean, he's a dangerous fighter for anybody else. I believe.
Yeah, he's big and he's scary. And then we still have Hergovich in the background. We got Zhang. I guess he's going to be fighting soon. But the
Well,
guys,
Jung is like what 60?
What's that now?
I say Zhang is like what 60 now?
Well, he's still around. He's still around. And but look, if I want to watch heavyweights get their shot right now, I definitely want to see Bacoli, and I want to see Wardley. Wardley's my favorite right now of the guys that haven't really been put out there the way I would like them to be put out there. I want to see Wardley. Listen, you know why I say this, Gary? Because I think I know something. I said Fury was going to be Klitschko when that fight happened. I saw something in Fury. I see something in Wardley. I don't think he's the tall, long boxer that Fury was. But I see something different. I see a dog. I see 6'5". I see athletic. I see bouncy. I see a guy at heavyweight that can move, that can punch.
He definitely has power.
Did you see what he did in his last fight against Fraser Clark, dude?
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah,
bro,
had him hanging on the ropes.
Bro, I mean, he put a dent in the guy's head. It was a rematch. He got him out of there in one round. So it's definitely a guy I want to see, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I got for you, man. Anything else you want to tell these knuckleheads out here before we get going?
Nah, not right now, man. I'm gonna go get me something to eat and take a shower and get to bed. I'm old.
I love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Knucklehead Nation, thanks for joining us. Subscribe if you haven't already. Join if you haven't already. And we'll see you live next Monday or after all the big fights. And we'll be dropping content almost daily. So see you then. Thank you for your time, Gary. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
All right, bro.